Hello and welcome to this special focus on where we look at one major sector in Nigeria, which is Nigeria's dairy industry, and one company that has been doing remarkably well over the years and tried to sustain that growth, looking at key issues from backward integration to local production here in Nigeria, is FrieslandCampina WAMCO. And I'm here being joined by the managing director in the person of Roger Adu, who will come to speak to some of the key issues, looking at how well the company has thrived here in Nigeria, and more importantly, how it's been able to, address some of the key issues here in the continent. Thank you so much for your time, Roger. But let's look at why we're here, and of importance is how well the company FrieslandCampina has been a part of Nigeria's history, looking at how well its products across the value chain has been able to stand the test of time over decades of this. Now let's look at how the company has evolved over this period of time and what continues to make this company stand out.
Okay, well, thanks for having me. Basically, the company has been in Nigeria for the past 70 years. The first cans of that product were imported in 1954. Okay, so we started with the imports, and then we saw an opportunity to build up a company, and the first plant was commissioned in 1973. So it tells you about, that marriage that we have with Nigeria. And ever since we've been around. Why the company has thrived? Just for a few things. Number one, it's about the quality, okay? Quality of our product. Our products and our brands are recognized as top quality, and we've got also that consistency in the quality, which has also helped us survive all of the storms that the country have encountered. So this is a company that has been consistently delivering on its mission, which is basically to provide quality dairy nutrition to all Nigerians. And this is what makes us, that iconic company with iconic brands that are part of the households of every Nigerian.
And this also speaks to the fact that the company has seen itself position itself in some key landmark stories here in Nigeria, from sports to entertainment, but more importantly, it's about its ability to be able to provide that nutrition for Nigeria. But let's look at some of the initiatives that the company has taken over years, but one has remained really consistent, is the ability to take from grass to glass. That also shows how well the company has established its footprint here in Nigeria in terms of providing that manufacturing hub where, instead of importing, like you said from the beginning, now you're beginning to manufacture here in the country.
Definitely, and you're so right to talk about that philosophy that we have, which is from grass to glass, meaning that from the farm all the way down to your table where you take that glass of milk, okay? We are, let's say, master of our destiny, because we control all the chain, so that at least we provide that good quality nutrition to all of the Nigerians. This has been something that we've done consistently, and today I mentioned the fact that when we were having that manufacturing hub here in Nigeria, we have gone a step further to make sure that backward integration, which is basically an imperative also from the federal government, we have been able to go into that backward integration and also integrate local farmers, local dairy farmers into our production. So we are making sure that that consistency that I mentioned earlier is all across, the spectrum, all over our supply chain.
Very wonderful. Looking at some of the iconic products like Peak Milk, 3 Crowns, and Peak 1, 2, 3 for both adults and the young kids. But let's look at how well these products, and I also remember growing up watching the brand adverts during, I think it was in '94, with Kano and Papilo, you go make us proud, and all of
to generations.
Exactly, those adverts. But let's look at how these brands, these products have been able to stand the test of time and also sustain that generational movement from one household to another.
Okay. I think that one thing I mentioned was consistency. You'll see behind the brand are people who have always thought about the mission to nourish Nigerians with quality dairy nutrition. So it's been kind of a motto for all of us at FrieslandCampina. time that you produce one product, you make sure that that consistency in terms of the quality is there. And that's what has earned us the trust of all of the Nigerians when it comes to our brand. But also you've seen with, the support that we've had, you've talked about sport, you've talked about, all of those adverts. I'm very much proud as the MD of the company, wherever I go, and I'm saying I work for Peak, okay, that people will always welcome me. And it tells us how this company, and particularly the brand, are being part of the lives of every Nigerian.
One other thing again we'd also look at is in terms of this evolution. We've seen economic turmoil, we've seen inflation's peak, we've seen quite a lot happen, good and bad, FX issues, just like we're talking behind. But let's look at how well you've been able to navigate this challenges to be able to stand that test of time. One of the things we're looking at again is in terms of how well the brand has been able to position itself properly.
I think what sets us apart is that, well, we are bringing global expertise in terms of dairy because FrieslandCampina is one of the biggest dairy cooperative in the world, plus local knowledge. I think that association makes it a special mix, which has been also at the essence of our success here in the country. We are bringing that quality knowledge that we have from our global presence, but we know the Nigerian market, we know the Nigerian consumers, and every time we're trying to adjust, to adapt, and bring, that innovation that the consumers want with that global expertise that we have.
With this kind of mindset in terms of bringing that global expertise and tapping it into the local market, it brings that ensemble, that blend very well. But I'm sure beyond even having this brand identity, I mean, working for FrieslandCampina should be something like you said, anywhere you go, people always want to associate the fact that, oh, you work with Peak and all that. So talk to us about what the workplace culture is there and then how well you value every employee there.
Well, I think what we're saying is when we're not a company, we consider ourselves as a family. When I joined this company, I heard about that concept about the FC WAMCO family. This is a place where you feel being included, okay? This is a place, as we say, where we bring you to unleash your nature, okay? You bring your best self and you can really deploy. And you'll be listened, you'll be heard, and you will be given opportunity not only to learn, to grow, and to impact. This is what that company is about, really.
And let's look at in terms of the opportunities to grow and learn. An average employee comes and says, oh, there's a certain training I need to go for in XYZ country or XYZ location. How well does FrieslandCampina help in terms of support and promotional growth?
Well, maybe a statistic that I would like to share. And just before we started that program, we've got 55% of our population, total population, which is more than 10 years old into the company, 10 years of seniority. It tells you about, the kind of company that we are. You come, you learn, you grow, you're given opportunity, and you stay as of a consequence. This is the kind of company that we have. And we've seen many of our colleagues, Nigerians, that have taken regional responsibilities, international assignments, because we are part of also of that global network of companies where people can go, learn, and come back to bring, that expertise, that experience that they've gained to the benefit of the Nigerian consumer.
And in terms of looking at how well the workplace culture is, particularly people learning, people growing beyond their immediate. For example, I walked into FrieslandCampina as a youth corper, and I dedicate 10, 15 years of my life to the company. At what level will I say in 15 years I want to leave FrieslandCampina?
I think that you will not leave FrieslandCampina if you were to be a young corper, because you get that opportunity. Recently, we just celebrated a colleague who celebrated 30 years, okay? She came as a corper. She's been there, given those opportunities. Now she's mentoring the younger ones. That's the kind of company that we have. We're giving the opportunities of people to learn, okay, to grow, and to be the best self. And by having that, we've seen that it has contributed to the success of this company, because the success of a company like ours, which has been going through all of the storms that the country has been into, is mainly because we've got the right people, and those people know the market, and as a consequence, we've been so successful.
While we wrap this conversation, what should we expect from FrieslandCampina in terms of products unveiling, in terms of, just tell us, what should we expect from the company in the next 5 years?
First of all, a big commitment to Nigeria. we are here to stay. Number two, a big commitment to our employees. We'll continue to grow them, to give them opportunity, and as the company expands, they will have more opportunity also to be themselves, to unleash their nature. Also to the communities, I mentioned our efforts in dairy development with backward integration. We are pretty heavy on it. We'll continue to invest behind making sure that the dairy sector in Nigeria is sustainable and is really profitable for all of the players. And last but not least, we'll continue also to make sure that our innovation in terms of product will bring in to the consumer, to the Nigerian consumer, those right products that they want, so that at least they get that right nourishment.
And that is also speaking to how well the company is planning in terms of beyond 70 years, looking at marking landmark 100 years and the likes. So while we wrap up in one word, give us a full description of what FrieslandCampina WAMCO is.
I think that's a beautiful company that is about nutrition, about serving the Nigerian consumer with quality dairy nutrition. That's what we do, and that's what we'll continue to do, to the benefit of all Nigerians.
Well, that's it. The company that is providing nutrition here in Nigeria. Well, that's the much we can take on this episode of Focus on Amaking Obake. Thank you so much for watching. I just had the managing director of FrieslandCampina, Roger Adu, talking about what the company is, what their motto is, and their ambition here in the Nigerian market after 70 good years in the country. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Akin Obake.